Hi, I'm Cameron and welcome back to Cameron's Country. In today's video, I thought I would give a quick run through of my country hat collection. I have 5 hats, starting with this one, my dense Newsboy Cap. This cap was actually a gift from my grandfather who worked selling country clothing, and he partly inspired my interest in it. The Newsboy Cap's got 8 panels and it's normally made of wool with a little peak at the front, similar to a flat cap, but it is a later design originating in the Victorian era, and it was very popular going forwards into the early 20th century after World War I. It's of course had a resurgence in popularity today because of its depiction in Peaky Blinders, which is set during that era. I do like the style. This one, unfortunately, it is a little bit big for me, but because I have long hair, I can tuck my hair underneath when I tie it up, and it stays on quite nicely. It's also really warm, and you saw it in my History of a Country Gentleman video where I wore it outdoors in the cold, so it does a good job as a versatile and practical country hat. Similar to the Newsboy Cap, but like I said, an older design is the flat cap. And this is my Farlow's flat cap, which you might have seen in a couple of earlier videos as well. I really like this hat. I said I was going to do a review of it. Sort of, I guess a brief review now is that this has become my mainstay hat. This is the one I've been wearing the most, partly because I think it just looks the best or suits me the best out of all of them and fits the nicest, but it's also very practical. The peak has done well when it's been sunny and I've been out and about, kept the sun out of my eyes very effectively, as you saw in my Chauffeur Gilet review. And it's just, I guess, an iconic cap for country style. You just can't go wrong with the flat cap as far as I'm concerned. Flat cap also has a very long history going right back to pretty much the medieval era, where there were sort of earlier designs. It's pretty much always been made of wool, and in fact, in the Elizabethan era, so around 1571, I think, Queen Elizabeth I made it compulsory by law that everyone had to wear one in order to boost the English wool trade. Though that law was repealed, a few decades afterwards, it had already become a staple of sort of working Englishmen, and it remains so to this day, I think. But I think it's a hat just about anyone can wear nowadays. It looks good on pretty much anyone, and it can be worn casually or in a more formal situation as well. So it's extremely versatile, both in terms of style and in terms of practicality, because it can be warm and it can be good when it's sunny as well. So a more formal hat is my felt Fedora hat from Christie's. Now this is another gift from my grandfather. If I had bought it, it would have been quite expensive, but fortunately I got it for free. I don't wear it all that often because, to be honest, I don't think I can quite pull it off personally, but I do like it, and it's a very sort of, I guess, special and sentimental item. The fedora is also a later design originating in the Victorian era and then very popular in sort of the first half of the 20th century. And of course is famous for all sorts of film stars from, I guess, the golden age of Hollywood kind of era. A lot of famous people were wearing it. And of course has the Indiana Jones connection as well. But I think if you do like this style, you should absolutely go for it and not worry about any of that sort of connection and make it your own. Personally, I just don't think it quite suits me, but maybe I'll wear it in a few videos coming up just to give it a run and actually see how it performs out in the countryside. The most practical hat in the collection is my trapper hat. Now, this is not a real fur hat, and it's fake fur, but I've had it for over 10 years and it is extremely warm. I actually bought it originally for a holiday to the Alps. It was pretty much 0 degrees the whole time we were there, and for a lot of the trip my head was actually too warm. That's how warm the hat is. I wore it in my welly review, so you might have seen it before, and it just is the ultimate hat for the cold weather. It of course has the flaps that do come down if you do want to have the extra layer of warmth. There's a little clip at the top, and if you unstrap that, Perhaps not the most stylish look looking like this, but if it is sub-0 degrees with driving snow, then you will be grateful, or at least your ears will be grateful, for the extra layer of protection. The trapper hat was originally designed for the American and Canadian frontier when people were out in those subarctic conditions, hunting for beavers and such like. And they're originally made out of beaver fur, but like I said, mine is fake fur, and that seems to perform just as well. But it goes to show that they really are the perfect hat for those extremely cold conditions. The last hat is, I guess, a bit of a novelty one, and that is the Deerstalker. Now, obviously, the Deerstalker is associated with a certain detective, and there's no escaping that, unfortunately, which is a real shame, because on its own, I do think it is quite cool. Maybe that's why Arthur Conan Doyle picked it for Sherlock Holmes, because it is I guess, an unusual design. But they're actually originally designed for, as the name suggests, hunting, deer stalking. They're worn up in Scotland. The flaps, like the trapper hat, do come down over the ears if it's very cold, although perhaps not quite such a stylish look. But I guess if you're up in the glens of Scotland and it's driving wind and rain and snow, then you'd probably be pretty appreciative for, tying those straps down under your chin. Once again, I don't really wear this hat very often for obvious reasons, I guess. But I have worn it a couple of times, sort of in a fun situation. It wasn't expensive at all. And it's just a, nice novelty item to have. And if you're going to have a collection, you may as well have every single type of hat. Well, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know which one of these hats is your favourite. If you'd like to see any more of them in more detail, or if you'd like to see me wear them in some more practical situations outdoors. For example, when I wore this flat cap up Penny Ghent, that was apparently -7 with the wind chill, and it held up really well. So yeah, let me know if you'd like to see any more. Let me know what you think down below. If you enjoyed, please do consider subscribing. I'd very much appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video soon. Bye for now.